It's great to be back here practicing again with the pads on. We got an official visit weekend here to complete, but it was good to be back with the team and now going forward to be able to stay with them. It's been a little bit disjointed just because of the way the schedule is this time of year, but now we're back full steam ahead, trying to get ready for the bowl game. Questions?
Are you in preparation mode for North Carolina, or are you still kind of?
No, we'll do the game plans early this week. The coach has been out on the road, so there really hasn't been time to do that. But we'll do the game plans early this week, and then as we get into the week, we'll start installing everything and try to get everything in once while we're here, and then redo it again when we get out to Detroit.
I know it's a big time for young guys. Hayden Reddick in particular, what have you seen from him throughout the course of this year, and how big is this for him right there? Because obviously there's an opening in the spring.
Sure, I think he's doing a good job. I think he's taking advantage of the time and the reps and the attention he's getting from Coach Friesian. The coaches can give the younger guys a little bit more attention right now because it's not the urgency, the time urgency of a game coming up this weekend. I think that'll be good for him in the long term. It'll pay off as it adds up. It's not just one day, but as you compile those days, it'll add up for him.
What are his? I mean, we see he seems like he has good arm strength. What are his strengths as a quarterback? Obviously, we've seen a little Laviano. What is Hayden?
Sure. I think Hayden's got good arm strength. I think he's a good athlete. I think now for him, it's going to be a matter of learning the offense and really operating within the system. That's always the challenge for the guy who's on the scout team, because it's the scout team. You're looking at a card. You're not going through a progression. You're not necessarily reading the defenses. There are a lot of times they're telling you, hey, we need the ball thrown here. But as he works in practice, you start to see him working through his progression, so it's good.
Kyle, any updates on some of the guys who missed the end of the season, like Nadir and Terzilli and Desmond?
Desmond won't be back for the bowl game, but other than that, I think everybody else will be back.
It looked like a couple of new guys were missing today. Were there academic responsibilities, or?
No, we got a couple of guys that are sick right now. So again, we expect them to be back. I don't think it's anything too serious, but we expect them back.
Most of the time, you can sometimes experiment with a position change as like kind of a precursor to the spring. Is any of that in the plans right now?
No, not right now. We're not really doing that now. I think we've got the pieces where we want them for now, and then we'll reevaluate it after the bowl game.
How was Detroit yesterday, and just getting the first take on what that bowl game will be like?
It was great. It was great to get out there and actually meet people like Tom Milan, Kerry Kozel, Dan Jurasevich, the people that are running the bowl game out there. They've done such a good job of getting us the information. Will Gilkison has been out there for a couple of days, so he had a good lay of the land. I got a chance to see the hotel that we'll be in. I did not see Ford Field, but I saw the Lions practice facility. Got a chance to say hello to Ron Prince, which was good. And we're excited. They got a great facility out there. They're a first-class organization. I think it's going to be a great experience for our players.
Did you get to see George Johnson too?
I did not. I did not see George. I'm not sure what their practice schedule was, but I know we got there afterwards. That's all Ron.
Your thoughts on Boston College and Penn State being in the Pinstripe Bowl? Does that have an effect whatsoever on recruiting during this pivotal time, or?
Oh, I don't think so. I'm sure both those teams are excited to go there. It's a good game. We've played in it twice. I'm sure they'll have a good experience.
Is that your expectation that with the Pinstripe Bowl, generally they're probably going to try to get like a New York team? Does it have any they've already talked about wanting to capitalize on New York. Do you think that they can?
I think you'd have to ask them. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what their strategic plan is in terms of that. I know the two times we've gone, we've had a good experience.
I wanted to ask you about Darius. I read in Dan's story, he stated already that he's definitely going to be back next year. There's no interest in testing the NFL yet. What had he spoken with you about that, or just what was your take on him sort of saying that now and wanting to be back here next year?
I met with some of the players that are at the point in their careers where they can get evaluated if they want to, just to make sure that they understood the process. I think that's the important thing. The more information you have, the better decision you can make. Darius made a decision early on that he was going to come back. I'm excited about it. We certainly want him to come back, and there's no doubt about that. He's a great player for us, and will be a great leader for us going forward next year with the experience he's had in the 3 years he's been here.
What did you make of kind of his stated desire to bulk up? Do you think that's a smart plan going forward for next year?
I think it's the natural progression of most linemen. Most linemen who come into your program get bigger as they get older, and I think on the offensive and the defensive line, that'll happen naturally. He's certainly bigger now than he was when he got here, that's for sure. And I would expect in another offseason he'll be even bigger.
As part of that class that stayed on as you became the head coach, what's your take or memories of kind of his just personality profile? He obviously comes from an interesting background with his dad having played. Just what are your memories of kind of when he stayed and his personality even from day one when you started meeting him?
He's been a leader from day one. He came here with a purpose, like a lot of those players did, that They wanted to take this program and move it to another level, and now they've got an opportunity to do it, an opportunity they didn't have when they came here, as a member of the Big Ten. So now not only do they have an opportunity to do what they wanted to do when they came here, they've got an opportunity to do it in a great conference.
When you look at purpose, and you look at the 3 plays on the defensive stand that Darius made, is that something you show the rest of the kids about? How someone never, ever, ever gives up?
It will be. It's the type of leadership that every great defense has to have, and I think Darius on those plays was a difference maker at a critical time. And I think maybe as important as both of those things is he did it within our system. Those were not freelancing type of plays that he made. He made plays within our system, one-on-one, and then ultimately got the guy on the ground. So I think it's a great example for young players that if you play within this system, all of your great abilities can still come out.
Kyle, you guys have your banquet tomorrow where you give your team awards. How much do those mean to the guys? I guess what's the selection process like? Is it you? Is it all the coaches?
It's only me. No, no. We get together as a staff and we decide who the award winners will be. And some of them are a little more straightforward. The academic awards are a little more straightforward. And then there's other ones, and they're hard. It's really hard. And every year we start the process by saying, it'd be great if there was one award winner for every award, but sometimes there's just more than one person who's deserving, and I think if that's the case, then they should be recognized. Those players deserve to be recognized. As a guy who played college football and high school football, I think it's always very flattering when you get recognized by the people that coach you.
Thanks, Kyle.